Hello, everyone. Wait, what episode number is this?
28?
Is
Is
it?
it 28?
Okay. Whatever, we're just going to pretend we know. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the House of Royale. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, share, comment, all of the things. And House of Royale now has an official Patreon page, and we are giving away a free song to download every month. And I do have a pair of point shoes that I'm going to be giving away to one of our lucky subscribers. Since it's my birthday month, give us all your money. We love you. Today, America, I give you a world-renowned comic. Thank God we have a female comic on the show. She is hysterical. And if you're from the South, I think you're going to be a fan of this episode. Please give it up for the beautiful, the incredible, the fabulous Mimi Landru. Give it up, Instagram. Yes.
That's the best intro ever. Wow. World renowned. We'll get there. We're manifesting. We're already manifesting this episode.
Yeah. And how much money do you need?
$20,000.
And 20,000. I need 17. She needs 20. So, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Women, all of us, we need to just be like, this is what I need, and I'm going to get it right now. And just believing it, you know? And I think that as confident as people, as women like us are, we still have that glitch in our brain of like, I'm not going to have a mansion. I'm not going to have a private jet. I mean, not that we strive to have those things because it's like super materialistic, but we can.
We can.
And there's still that little thing in our brain. Do you think women have weird hangups about money?
You know, it's funny you say that because I feel I don't know if like a mansion or a private jet was ever like on my radar with things I actually like wanted, you know? I think for me it's always been I just want to be happy. I just want to be successful. I want to be around people that I love that love me back. You know, and it's so funny that you say that because, you know, living in Los Angeles, you know, I've been here 6 years now. I know you've been here a bit longer and you're a California native. It's crazy how living in Los Angeles made me less materialistic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, daddy. No way. Okay, so for me, I think obviously because of the amount of loss that I have suffered, like it is clear that I will always be thirsty for love. Like definitely that's number one for me and being happy and like thank God I'm finally dating a fabulous man.
You are?
Yeah. Like
I love it.
he's so great. But I get frustrated with myself because I still do have that scarcity mindset of like, why would I have 10 mil in my bank account? That's crazy. And it's like, I just want to get to the point where it's nothing.
Right.
Like we give so much of ourselves and we serve others like through our work because we're performers, you know? And so we're constantly giving of ourselves. And I think that almost invokes this concept of like, no, not me. Like, here, you take it.
Yeah. And for me, you know, I'm also in the service industry. I'm a bartender, and I sort of finessed my way into bartending. I know a lot of people know this about me. Like, I am a real bartender. Like, I make good drinks. Okay, I do. But, you know, it was something for me where I dabbled a little bit in college, and then I wanted a side hustle that was lucrative. And so a few years ago, I randomly stumbled upon an opportunity to bartend, and then it just kind of took off from there. And now I'm able to really know my shit. But my point is that, you know, being in the service industry, you see how also others treat you. When you are a bartender or a server or any type of in that, you know, hospitality field. And it's very apparent, like, who values, you know, your
So
service
are
industry
you saying
workers.
that it almost becomes more about the respect aspect?
Yes.
Like as a server, you're like, I would rather have this table respect me as opposed to them treating me like shit and then tipping
Sure.
me
Sure.
500 or 1,000.
But I'll say this though, like where I'm at now bartending, it's such like a homey place. Like it's kind of like a Cheers. We do have a lot of regulars. It's good people that come into this bar because it is a very, down to earth type of place. And, I make great money there. I'm really happy there.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's, paramount for me. And, when I think to myself, maybe I could go somewhere that was, higher end and make more money. But then I think about, the people that I'm with and how much they're important to me and how much they accommodate, me with comedy and all the other creative ventures I'm embarking on.
Okay, so that being said, and we like you guys, we have a whole game plan and we're just like riffing off the top, right? Like this is a rap battle already. I love it. But what I was going to say is like the people at the top, because Hollywood has always had this, it's not a stigma, it's the truth. People at the top sacrifice a piece of their soul because it is super dark when you are at the top because it's like you can't have friends, the paparazzi's chasing you. I mean, you're giving up so many aspects of normal life. Do you think that we're ever going to get to a point in show business where you can be one of the biggest stars and have a healthy life?
So someone asked me a question recently if I believed in monogamy.
Mm.
And I believe that monogamy is a choice that you make. So you have to kind of be strong enough and make that choice.
Yeah.
For me, like, I guess you could say like it's crazy to think this, but yeah, I am in the entertainment industry now, or I'm trying to be. I have a podcast. I'm producing a comedy show. I'm getting up on stage, as much as I possibly can. I'm striving to be there. And me coming into this game older, in my mid 30s when I started 2 years ago, I kind of have the foundation of I know what's what. Whereas, if I had started this, when I was 19, I may not be able to make that choice.
Yes, I have chills. I love that. Well, I can say growing up in the competition world and like having a mom that was like pretty much Simon Cowell, like it was nothing but like critique and like, just all of the unhealthy shit that was instilled into my mind at like becoming this perfectionist that basically hated myself unless everything was perfect. And then like coming to LA and not knowing anything about how men viewed girls, especially in music. And I just thought that I was supposed to be this slave to that narrative. A lot of us did. Like, we can forgive ourselves now, but like, oh my God, how effed up. But I can honestly say, because of Gen Z and then lockdown, and then it's so funny because you see like older legacy actors being like, yeah, I just got an email from this Gen Z kid and like the way they talk is so crazy and disrespectful. And like, well, because we're literally dismantling the old system.
Right.
We really are. And I feel like we will have a chance to operate in a healthy way as artists, especially if women continue to take over. Because we're giving it that feminine, like we're giving it love.
Yeah.
And we're telling the old men to go away because
Please go away.
Yeah, you guys are so abusive and racist. It's like, well, and sexist and ageist and like all of the ist words. So yeah, I think that being said, I think that the reason why I want to be a millionaire is because I want to have the capital and the money to fulfill my dreams.
Yeah.
And in order to have an all-female production team and like pay them what they should be paid. But like I have to really believe that I deserve it. And that's where that comes from for me. The money aspect.
Oh, for sure. I mean, trust me, I do want millions of dollars. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, oh no, I'm okay. I'm okay with eating the Whole Foods hot bar the rest of my life. No, baby, I want to go to Craig's every night. Okay, like that's where I really want to do. But I want to pay for it myself.
Right. Exactly.
I don't want to get money from anybody. I'm not. Also, it's like, dude, I have this joke I tell on stage, like, my friends, back home, they're like, oh, like you still look good. Like you should get a sugar daddy. All this kind of stuff. I'm like, bitch, like I'm 38 years old. You think some like 48-year-old man wants to pay me to go on a date? Like that's too real. It's too. Oh yeah. Well, if you know anybody, let me know.
I know plenty of guys out here in LA. Listen, I think that there are men that want to spend their money and they
Mhm.
just need a reason to do
Mhm.
it. And I think that's another thing that women forget is, I mean, I fall into this place of like, nobody give me anything because I don't want to be owned.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there has to be a balance of like, if he has millions of dollars and he wants to spend it, let him.
Oh, for sure.
And it's like, but like even walking around knowing that that is the case for so many dudes, it's like us women really need to like remember that we have so much power and that we just need to give them a reason to spend it.
Yeah.
So just go on patreon.com, House of Royale, and give me 10 G's. You know, it'll make you feel good. It's good karma. It'll clear up your skin.
Go on my Venmo.
Yeah.
At
What's your
Stepmom. Well, right now it's at Stepmom Comedy because I have a show coming up on Wednesday that I'm co-producing with my good friend Tara, who's another female comic.
And how much do you want them to Venmo you?
Oh, I just want them to buy out the whole art gallery. So just
Mhm.
maybe like a few grand. That'd be great.
Yeah.
We can pay our comedians what they're worth. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, 20 grand. We're gonna go with
Oh, yeah,
20
yeah,
grand.
20 grand. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
20 grand.
All comics get $500 if this happens.
Yes. Oh my god. Like, hello.
You're basically a paid regular on Stepmom Comedy.
It blows my mind because I feel like that's what comics should be getting paid.
It is what we should be anyway. We're getting up there saying the craziest stuff, risking getting canceled, talking about our trauma. I know that's a popular thing to say, sharing our wins, our losses, and trying to make it funny, trying to make, everybody laugh and feel good. And then again, like that's what is not again, but this is the first time I'm saying it, but like that is what's fulfilling for me is just making people laugh. It's not about me. It's about how I'm making some, maybe that is about me then.
Well, I feel like being on stage, it's embarrassing. Whether like you're a comedian or a singer, like being a pop singer, like I look at other pop singers and I'm like, you have balls, dude. Like the costumes, just like some of the lyrics, like pop music is very, even if you're Harry Styles, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it feels different when you have a million
Harry
wet
Styles.
vaginas like screaming your name, right? But like it takes a lot of courage. It is an act of service to get on stage and to be like, I'm gonna be a clown for y'all.
Yeah, a total fucking clown. And some people are like, oh, I could never do what you do, or I can never do that, or I can never do stand up. It's like, yeah, it takes a lot of balls to get up there and just reveal yourself.
Okay, so let's take it back to the beginning. Alabama, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, thank you.
Okay.
That's when you got it right. That's where I went to college.
Woo! But what I find the most interesting is that you danced.
I did.
And so, like, for those of you who watched the show, my mom ran one of the biggest dance studios on the West Coast. I grew up competing. So whenever I meet a fellow dancer, it's like super exciting for me. Okay, so give us a rundown of the beginning.
I was born in Birmingham, Alabama at Brookwood Hospital at 7:11 p.m.
Wow.
7:11, yeah.
Star chart.
That's my birth time. If men care, they don't.
They need to. Matt Rife. Hey, Matt Rife. She was born at 7:11 p.m. Mother. Okay. Anyway.
Alexander Skarsgård. That's what time I was born. But. No, so I was born there. Raised by a single mom, who was very loving, wanted the best for me, but, super overprotective and, a string of other things. And so that's what's led to us kind of having a dissension, in my adulthood. But, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't feel comfortable being on stage. I wouldn't feel comfortable talking. I mean, she pushed me. When I say talking, she pushed me to do public speaking competitions, pageants, stuff like that. But in a way, it was almost like I was an extension of herself.
Of course.
She wouldn't let me do it like in my own way. And so now I never thought that I would get into performing later in life. And, growing up in a small town, I didn't think I was going to live in that small town or marry somebody from that place either. I'm from Clanton, Alabama, really small town, 8,000 people. Super archaic way of life, good old boys, like that whole thing, like your atypical Southern town, like what people think, you know. And it pains me when you know, people want to say things about the South like, oh, it's racist, it's this, it's that, and the other. I mean, it is, but it's so many other great things
Hell yeah.
too, you know. And you know, all my friends back home, shout out to Brad, Jamie, Peter, all of you guys back there. But they're holding it down and doing the right thing, and you know, being progressive. And
I lived in Nashville for a year.
okay.
And I am a big fan of sweet tea, like Sonic, Waffle House,
Oh, I love that.
country music.
Yeah, we love country. What were you doing in Nashville?
I was there getting molested by a music
Oh God.
manager.
Can we kill him? Can I say that?
Yes.
Can we?
I was there recording an EP, and I was working with like Sam Mizell, this American Idol producer, whatever, and teaching at a dance studio.
Nice.
My boss at the dance studio was super abusive as well. She was a meanie poo. But you know what made the residency livable was the culture and the beauty of Southern love and hospitality, and you know, just the warmth that was there outside of what I was experiencing. It truly was a magical experience.
I love meeting Southerners when I'm in Los Angeles, especially Southern comics. Like there's always that immediate camaraderie because it's like we get the South and we respect it and we love it, but at the same time, like we're here in LA, want to pursue. So shout out to my boy Dan Postian. You should have him on the podcast.
Okay.
He'd be a hoot. He can give Matt Rife a run for his money with his abs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We need more boys on the show.
Oh yeah, he's great. Yeah, I can get you some boys.
Okay.
Some good boys too. Some good ones.
Good. Yeah, because I have a boyfriend now, y'all. So I'm sorry. We're putting duct tape on the chi-chi.
But yeah, so I mean, I grew up in this really small town. I was bullied a lot. I had to change high schools, that whole thing. And really just felt like alone, you know, most of my childhood. I had friends, but you know, it was hard. I was different. You know, I was always very outspoken. I was in the arts, which was kind of abnormal for somebody, you know, in Clanton, Alabama, you know, so I had to deal with that. These people are all very nice to me now, but you know, that's always how it works, right?
Yes, absolutely. Theater kids are always like, I was singing a Lady Gaga song in a dark corner and everyone was laughing at me. Like, that's always the story. Like, why are kids so mean? Like, why do you guys hate Broadway? What is happening?
And then in college, that's when I really came into my own. Like I did, you know, some theater here and there. I was in the dance program at University of Alabama. I had a lot of friends, a lot of different kinds of friends. And, you know, and then I entered grad school. I was a creative writing, getting my master's in that program there at UAB. Stopped that because I don't know. I think I was just young and immature and didn't know time management. And I say I was young and immature, but then that's when I got married. So.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, we must get into that because when I first met you, I was like, oh, she's like this 20-something, like brand new to LA. Like you come off so young. It's wild.
Oh, good. Yeah.
You were a corporate woman. Like you had a real job.
Oh yeah.
What was the job again? I forgot.
Well, I had I mean, I've literally done everything ever. When my ex-husband and I were together, we lived in Hawaii for a few years. And I was a legislative aide to Senator Sam Sloan, rest in peace.
Wow.
Senator Sloan. Legislative aide to him for a session. And then after that I wrote for like an online political newspaper.
Wow.
And then after that, I was a morning news producer for the KITV, for the ABC affiliate in Honolulu, KITV. And then we moved because my ex-husband was a West Point Army officer. We had to move to North Carolina, and I was editor of the magazine in the city of Fayetteville for a few years, City View. Shout out to all my Fayetteville people. Really made an impact there. Took that magazine to a really great place. Started a food and wine event that they still do. It's going to be now, I believe, when did I start it? 2013, 24. So it'll be its 11th or 12th year.
Oh my God.
This fall. I'm bad at math. I'm a writer. After that, moved to New York. I was an executive assistant for a financial firm. I was in a relationship in New York that went south. This was my rebound relationship after my divorce. moved to LA 6 years ago. And then I just never thought that anything in the entertainment, I thought it was a pipe dream. I thought it was silly. I just wanted to live in LA. I wanted to be close to my aunt who lives down the street from me, who you also know.
Love
And
her. I'm
yeah.
obsessed. Okay, wait, pause. So, first of all, if anyone needs a real writer who actually went to school, there's one right here. Stop hiring your nieces and nephews because they're Nepo children. Like, just hire someone with real experience.
Yeah, I would love to get in a writer's room. That would be
right?
great. Yeah.
But the marriage thing trips me out. Okay, because usually independent women that want to be in the limelight, it takes us a while to be like, all right, fine, I'll settle down with a man. But what happened? Like, where did the marriage thing, did you always want to get married as a young girl? Or
I mean, I think I just wanted that like love and affection and that romantic love and affection too. Like, I grew up in the 90s where, it was Disney, it was romantic comedies. Like, you wanted that Prince Charming who was going to be good to you,
Mhm.
And I mean, I married like my first real long-term boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was great when he was great, and he was good looking, looked like Chris Pine, like he's hot.
Ooh.
Not anymore, but that's neither here nor there. He's happy. He's happy. I stalk him.
How did he propose to you?
He proposed to me when we were living in Hawaii together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just it's in our apartment,
Oh,
kind of
okay.
on a whim because he was deploying and all
Oh.
that. Typical soldier story.
Yeah. Okay, so would you ever do it again?
Yes, I would.
Really? What would it take this time around? Like if you were collecting applications,
God.
what is the perfect man? What do you really want?
What is the perfect man? Wow. Someone who is honest, genuine, will talk about his feelings without being too much of a sap. Basically, I guess, what I would describe as like my ideal guy is like a lumberjack Hemingway.
Oh.
Now, does that exist in LA? I don't
Yes.
know.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know. Here you get screwed over by the most mid guys that ever existed. So.
True.
Only in this city.
True.
Only in the city.
I literally have been teaching my man about the fact that women like us literally have dated homeless people with no job or car. And he's like, what does that mean? Like, he can't wrap his brain around the concept of that.
Well, it just means they're artists and they're hot and they got that D, I guess,
Why do hot men have nothing? Like no job, no car?
Because, because they can get by on that privilege. That's why. They say women are the ones with pretty privilege. No, sorry. It's hot guys.
Yeah.
Hot guys have the most privilege ever, especially if they're white.
Truly.
Seriously.
Still. It's
But we're going to take them
insane.
down.
Yeah. What about school? What school did you go to?
University of Alabama.
Okay, roll Tide. Okay, what was that? I never went to college, so what was college like for you?
College was fun.
Okay.
College was fun. I didn't do the whole sorority thing. I was actually in a sorority for one day, and then I decided it just really wasn't my thing. It was, typical college experience. I wasn't in Greek life, but I was affiliated. I did join a sorority for one day.
Oh.
Yeah, but it just wasn't my thing, Had a lot of friends, still have so many friends I went to college with. A few of them live out here. Shout out to Joel. Shout out to Courtney. Love you guys.
Okay, now speaking of friends, we were talking about this earlier. I always talk about this with every woman because you put 10 women under a roof for a certain amount of time and shit's gonna go down, honey. Why is it so difficult for women to get along? When it comes to friendships, that's not even the question. When it comes to friendship, you were saying you experienced a very like niche moment with women when you were married. A certain type of wife. Can you touch on that? And then we can get into like the nitty gritty of like female friendships.
Oh man, Army wives. Oh my God. At least this particular group, there's some great Army wives, don't get me wrong. There are.
I'm like, we're gonna have people coming after us.
Shout out to all of you. But it's okay. Most of them are not with their husbands anymore, so they don't have access to the 9 millimeters. You know, I mean, they're good. But nobody's gonna come after us. Nobody's gonna come after us. But wow, Army wives. I mean, you take a group of 24, 25-year-old women living somewhere where their husbands leave for an amount of time, and especially if their husbands have any kind of status, like if they're officers, that kind of thing. Those women latch on to that, but they also kind of use it to excuse their behavior. They're mean, they're catty, vicious. Army wives were the most vicious. The ones I knew were some of the most vicious, cold people I've ever met.
Why?
They just wanted to be bullies.
We
And then,
need
the infidelity, you have in the military that's, rampant in some areas too. You ball all that up to it's
Okay.
crazy.
So the way they retaliate, like if another girl tries to get onto their man or...
Well, I'll never forget. I can give you an example. So the guys who just deployed to I think it was like the Kunar province in Afghanistan. And my ex-husband's company commander's wife was this like, I do CrossFit. I was a cheerleader in college. I'm a badass bitch. She was really like, she was cute, but she was really like, and you're like, you're kind of scared of her, or everything. And she was really mean too. And, but maybe that's because she wasn't happy in her marriage. I don't fucking know. They're not together anymore. But there was a time we were all out at dinner and there'd been like this, there'd been a few, and this is like heavy stuff. There'd been, a couple of guys that were killed in action.
Oh, God.
And then one guy had gotten his finger blown off or something, but he's stayed alive. Something crazy. We were all at dinner, and that guy had just come back, and she had taken him out because he was in her husband's company. And she made some kind of comment to me like, oh, yeah, and this happened, and da-da-da-da, and, and your husband was there. And the way she said it made it sound like it was his fault, and like she was saying that, like crazy, crazy stuff. And, when you are around those type of people that make light of these very, very, very heavy situations, not a lot of things can get to you. You can deal with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
When you have to be like hearing about, trauma like that and death, and that's reality.
Let me ask you this. Did you learn how to dissociate? Do you think that kind of planted a seed for you emotionally, mentally, in order to cope?
You know what's funny? I do. It's funny. I do. I mean, I have friends that will, girlfriends that will come to me with problems that are like weighing really heavily on them. And things are, what's the saying that like, something that's a big deal to you may not be a big deal to somebody else, but it can still affect, you in the same way, like your mental health, and I always worry that when, girlfriends and stuff will cry to me about situations or come to me and I don't think it's that big of a deal, that I worry that I'm like not there for them. Like I worry that I'm the one that's too cold when like I get what they're going on. I want to empathize, but it can be hard.
Yeah. It is so difficult to take on another person's stuff when we're already dealing with our own stuff. And I think that's like a huge thing to talk about within the realm of mental health is like, that's why therapy is so important, because I mean, it sucks because the first thing you want to do is call up a girlfriend or a friend or your boyfriend and be like, oh my God, this, and this. But I am so blessed to have a therapist that I can just text,
that's
call.
amazing.
Yeah. And it's like, we have to take it to a professional sometimes because
you do.
Your friends don't always have the answers or the correct reaction. Men, oh my Lord. I say this to men all the time. I'm going to print out a script for you guys so that you can learn how to respond to women correctly.
Well, you know what's funny though? I've noticed like there's this surgence of men that say they're in therapy, but they're not. They don't really use the tools. They're like, oh yeah, I'm in therapy. It's like the new way of saying, people say like, oh yeah, that guy's a good guy. That guy's a good guy. Okay, cool. So that's like kind of a license for him that, oh, you should date him or you should be friends with him.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh yeah, I'm in therapy, so I'm a good guy.
Right.
No.
Yeah, boys, you got to actually do the work. I mean, it is so shitty because the narrative for men and women has been, we're just now at the beginning of really breaking this stuff down. And that's why there's always such a huge imbalance. Like, I feel like right now women are like, I'm the man, I'm taking over, I'm the breadwinner. And men are like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do now? Like, what's my role? And so we're finding that a lot of men are like, well, what is chivalry? Like, do you even want me to do that? Like, what am I supposed to do to be the man? And I think, like, I can safely say, gentlemen, I think it's important for you guys to hang on to the alpha characteristics of, like, yeah, open the door. Yeah, like, tell us we're beautiful. Pay for the bill. If you're like a what is it called? A hobosexual, like, at least
Don't date, work on yourself.
yeah. Or like pay for the food. Like, at least pay for the food. If you're staying at a girl's home and she's like housing you and you think that dick is the payment, it's not enough. You need to pay for the Uber Eats or the Postmates.
No, and just basic things that men should still do that they don't do. And we can say so many great things about Gen Z, but there's a lot of, you know,
Gray area,
and
always.
I think men need to walk on the side of the sidewalk that faces the street. Men need to open doors. If you're coming out of a building and a man is, they don't need to just burrow into you. They need to wait and hold the door open. I even hold the door open for people.
Yeah.
As a woman, I'll hold the door open for a man if it's kind of like the right thing to do and the more polite thing. Pay for the bill. And the bill doesn't have to be, caviar. It can be hot wings, just any type of gesture to do that. Another thing I hate too is how men will call girls like bro and dude. I hate that. Like I'm having sex with you. I'm not your bro, okay? I mean, like, that's not what I'm into. There's a category for you and I'm not in it.
So that is sound advice. And then for the women, like, not that I'm ever gonna give women advice, like, don't come for me, please. But what I have learned for my own self as a friend is that each girl, like, let's say I take 10 of my girlfriends, even we were at dinner the other night, it's like me, you, Angela, Jordan, Chloe, your aunt, like, each girl is so different.
Right.
And it's like, I have only known Chloe for 2 years, but I know her very well now. So it's like, if she needs to go home, or if, like, I'm irritated, or if she's irritated, it's like not taking it out on each other, but just kind of like being aware, like, okay, this is this girl's routine. This is her MO. This is what she's dealing and coping with. And us not taking it personally. I think that's such a big thing with girls, is we think it's our fault. We caused the problem, and sometimes it is your fault, and you did cause the problem. But I think it's more about, like, us all, like, the longevity of a team. Like, if we're gonna be friends for a really long time, it's just like having a boyfriend. Like, you have to put in the work and check in, and if someone's upset, it's just I think with women, it's constantly checking in and like hitting the refresh button. Where men are like, it's a tree, it's a dog, it's a squirrel, like, and they are not upset. They could get in a brawl with their homie and then it's like over, and they're not even thinking twice about it because they have so much testosterone. And we're just like drowning in hormones.
I don't know. I've met some guys who have a lot of estrogen, so I don't know.
It's the plastic in the water.
Is that what it is?
It's low T, yeah. So earlier we were talking about the video that went viral.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and you're gonna have many more that go viral, but you sent me this video, and yes, it's funny, but it's also a super important topic that we were just covering. Is like, it's so crazy because I was telling you about a comedian that I had a thing with, and I kind of felt like he was doing to me what this guy was doing to you in this video.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about this video really quick.
Okay. So I did a skit with my friend Malik, who is a great comedian, so professional, so hardworking, very, very, very funny. He's got a special on Amazon Prime. Shout out to Malik, who's your homegirl. Yeah, I'm going to promote him too. And all.
Yeah.
He's my
Yes.
boy.
We love the men.
But he asked me, the good ones.
Yeah.
He asked me to do a skit with him, and his skits always go viral. They get hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views. And it was funny because I was telling you that I have what I call like quiet goals, like things I'll kind of repeat to myself, like, hey, like that would be cool, you know, if this happened, you know. I don't write them down, but I just think about it. And I may think about it a lot. And so I think about this a lot. Like, it would be cool if I was in a skit, but I was kind of afraid to do one by myself.
Yeah.
It's been a kind of a slow, gradual thing, putting myself out there more and more, you know, as a comic. But he called me up, and he'd just been on my podcast, so I thought it was something about that. But he was like, hey, you know, can you do this skit with me? I have this idea. Basically, like, you know, he's a black man, and he's, you know, I'm white, duh. But he's like, you know, basically it's gonna be like a whole thing, like how I'm hiding you and you're my white girlfriend, and I'm hiding you like because you're white or whatever. And I'm like, that's funny. You totally want to do it, you know? And, you know, we kind of, you know, he had the, you know, the lines and stuff he wanted to say, you know, and he let me ad lib a little bit. And those were some really fun, cool lines that I saw that people, you know, repeated in the comments. I was like, okay, good. My little tags, you know, they worked.
Yeah.
You know, these strangers were watching it, thought it was funny. You know, and I'm not afraid to read the comments. As somebody that's been bullied their entire life, I really just don't care anymore. And but most of them were so good. Probably about like 98% of them were good. But there was a 2% that said like I looked like his mom.
Oh God. Okay. All right.
I was like, oh no. They're like, oh, that looks like one of his mama's friends. I was like, oh God. Something like, should I have worn my hair differently? Because my hair was like naturally curly in the video as it is. And
which we love that. Okay,
Yeah.
but really quick, we can all agree sometimes the comment section, we should be hiring you guys to be the comedians because it can
Yeah.
be really funny.
yeah, it can be for sure.
Yes,
Sure.
but also the bullying is next level.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know you.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you have to think about, you know what? I'm the person that Malik thought was funny to
Yeah.
be in the skit with him. It's not who's in the comments. It's you. And you have to focus on that. Like, you're the person that's doing something that so many people wish they could do. And I have a really beautiful friend who's very successful, very great comic. And, you know, so one time she said something to me about like, oh, how should I respond to this person? They said something really mean about her. And I'm like, bitch, you've got like 200,000 followers. You're killing it. Who are they? So you know what you respond to in the comments? You say, thank you, because they boosted your algorithm.
Yep.
They've created more, you know, responses for you.
Yeah.
But that was really cool to do that skit with him. And it gave me the confidence to want to do more on my own.
Yeah, which you guys will see many more from Mimi. Get ready. I have to say, like, Whitney Cummings and Chelsea Handler they've been the biggest female comedians forever and ever. They get so much hate. So much so that Whitney has literally taught women how to mute certain words so that people can't even use these words in the comments.
Yeah.
Chelsea went a whole month with just the comments off.
Yeah.
Because she's actually promoting women who are choosing to not get married and to not have kids, which I'm like, thank God someone is saying it, because I feel so much guilt. Like, just existing as a woman, like, can we do anything without getting criticized?
Right.
Like, it's so
No,
wild.
You can't. Because, and you know what? A lot of the hate, you know, this is not the object that men want to see in our hands. You know what I mean? Like, this is not, they want to see something else in our hands, you know, but then you can get vilified for that too.
You were saying on your Instagram, I think it was yesterday, or I forget even where I saw it, but you said even just saying that you're a comic is a cock block.
Oh yeah. I met a guy at a party here in LA back in October, and super hot, good looking dude. Made a pass at me. We exchanged Instagrams, phone numbers, all that. And he never asked me out. And then like one day, a couple months later, he was like, do you want to come over? And I was like, no. Why would I just want to come over to your place? Like, I don't do that anymore. But
Wow.
and plus I just don't know the guy. And then a couple weeks ago, he messaged me, and he just messaged me again in my DM, just saying hey and trying to strike up a conversation. He was like, we should hang out sometime, but you know, you're a female comic, and you know, and I leave a private life, and I said, I literally don't know anything about you. And the fact that you even think that you're so special, that I'm like, what do you think I'm going to do? Have like the 5 words you've said to me in this conversation in my set? Like, there's no way to make this funny. Like, this isn't funny. Like, that's a lot of things too. Like, are you going to talk about me in your set?
Yeah.
That's happened within like, you know, several like word exchange of meeting a guy. Are you going to have me in your set? No, I don't. What? Who are you? You have to do something really crazy in order to get into my set as a man. And even then, I'm not going to reveal who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, I do have to say what Matt Rife did to Tana Mojo's podcast partner girl, Brooke.
I don't know about this. What happened?
She dated Matt.
Really?
And so did 20 other girls at the same time. And she found out through TikTok.
Wait, he was dating 20 different girls at the same time?
At the same time.
Of course he was.
While saying he wants a wife, he wants monogamy, he's old school, all this shit. And the day after, you know, she was on tour with him even, like supporting him as like a comedy wife. And they come home, they hook up, and the next day he goes onto a podcast and talks about the specifics of her clitoris. And I'm just like, okay, so that really does showcase why people are terrified.
Listen, I gotta tell you something. The most unattractive male comics are some of the biggest players you'll ever meet, you know, because what do women want to do? We want to laugh, right? We want a guy that makes us laugh. Haha. Well, guess what? I can make myself laugh, so I don't really need that. I can just go out with like a CPA or something. But if you knew how hoish unattractive guys are, especially in LA, think about how a hot male comic will be. I mean, that's next level.
Yeah.
That is next level.
You know what? Ali Wong has a bit about this. And she's like, if you are a male comic, the fan pussy that you receive is like Victoria's Secret level, like runway model. And she's like, as a female comic, the fan dick that you receive are like the men that live in their mother's basement that want to collect your pubes to like make fake mustaches for their face. I forget what she said, but it's so true. I never get hot guys in my DMs.
Yeah, no.
Because I think they sense this, like, we are mom, we are boss, we run shit, we run game on them. They are our sons. Yeah. And they don't want to be told what to do. They want to be able to get away with whatever they want to get away with. And it's so crazy that it's so evident when I talk to other women that are kind of like in the same lane as us, they're not getting hit on by hot guys.
No.
It's like the creepy, scary murderers that come forth. And
listen, I have a date on Saturday with an actual attractive man who hit on me, who did all the right things, who I met out in the wild. And I am just like, thank God. But I'm also like, is they gonna cancel last minute, you know? Because they do that, you know?
Yeah, which is dating in LA. Dating in LA is you stalk each other. It's called orbiting. Orbiting is when the man will look at every single live story. He'll look at your Instagram, your Twitter, your TikTok, your chicha, your hoo-ha. They will look at, even their family members will do it because they know about you.
Yeah.
And then they won't follow through with an actual date or communication. This is dating in LA. Dating in LA is also scheduling and ghosting, or just ghosting in general.
Well, I have a bit about that too, about dating. Like, women were always like, oh my God, he looked at my story. You know, what does that mean? It's like, well, he's looking at every other girl's story too. It means literally nothing. You know, I went on a date, with this guy I really liked that I'd known for a minute. We went out a couple of times and things just kind of fell off. And I even was guilty of that. I said to my roommate, who I love, shout out to Joey. I said, oh my God, you know, he's still watching my story. What is it? Even I'm guilty of that. Right. And she goes, you're a comedian. He's making sure you don't tell everybody he has ED. And I'm like, oh. Damn, I guess so. Now I just did. Oh, but whatever.
Yeah. Ladies, word of advice. You are the motherfucking shit. And as a woman who is dating a man that calls my phone to check in to make sure we are still on for dinner at 6 motherfucking p.m., bitch.
Oh my God, I just wet myself.
I'm saying, like, he'll pick me up, send me whatever I need. Like, if I pay for something, he'll pay me back. He's paying for everything anyway, even though I told him not to. He's like, no, hell no, that's not how this works. He's such a man. He's such a communicator. He's so loving. It exists. If you are dealing with a man that has a six-pack and like a nice dick, but he's not communicating, he just wants sex, and he's staring at your live story every single day, that's not, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Let him stare at your live story, but kick him to the curb and get 5 other guys on deck to date and talk to, because he's not the one. And let me tell you something else, ladies. After you drop his ass, he will be texting you nonstop, because it's happening to me right now. And guess what, buddy? You fucked up and you're too late. Because I'm dating a big celebrity now who treats me like a queen, bitch. Okay? Anyway.
And I know who it is. I know who it is. And I think it's great. I am so
Some
happy.
people know who it is, but we're still keeping it a secret. We have to wrap up this episode because it's already been an hour and a half. But I want to talk about your career. Promote
me.
The show.
Promote me.
First of
Okay.
all.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a comic. Follow me on Instagram, Mimi Landru. Follow me on TikTok, Mimi Landru. That is MIMILANDRU. I'm running a monthly show. And we're our second month. It is January 23rd. That's a Tuesday, 8 p.m. Stepmom Comedy. We have some heavy hitters on that.
Where is it?
It's at Art Hacker Gallery in East Hollywood.
Where is that near?
It's nowhere near nothing.
Oh.
That's from Alabama coming out. So Stepmom Comedy. And then I also have a podcast, which Rochelle's going to come on.
Hell
my
yeah.
co-host Simone. And that is, we try to shoot every week. And that is at We Loves to See It on YouTube and Spotify. We have IG. We have TikTok for that as well.
And I will be going to the show on the 23rd with Angela and maybe Jordan.
So good.
And maybe the boyfriend.
Oh my gosh. Shut up. I would die.
Maybe the boyfriend. Okay, speaking of goals and manifesting our wildest career dreams, we are going to do an out loud manifestation, and then we're going to choose a from the Cards Badass Bitches Tarot deck. And you know what? Let's just, for the week, because what day is it? Tuesday? Wednesday. Oh my God. Okay, so for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, this is what I want, okay? I am manifesting, I want to book 3 big names for the show. I want a publicist. I want 10 new subscribers on the Patreon. And I want to just feel self-love and happiness and contentment with my life. And that just for this week, that's all I'm asking for. And so it is.
So you forgot the 17 grand.
Oh, and $17,000. Thanks. And so it is.
Okay, for the next few days. Tonight, I want a great mic that I host at Rock and Rise. I do host a monthly mic every month. It's usually on the 3rd or 4th Wednesday of each month. I want an awesome mic. I want lots of money at work, lots of tips. I want a nice date with this new young man. I want an agent. I want my new episode of We Loves to See It to hit 2,000 views on YouTube. I want our reel that's coming out with Stephanie Tejada of the Bad Girls Club to go viral.
Ooh.
And I want to get lots of sleep the next few days. And I want to get a great facial on Saturday. I want to have an awesome time with my aunt at lunch on Friday. And I just want to have very happy, restful, and fun and fulfilling rest of my week.
Woo! And so it is.
So it is.
To end this beautiful episode with Mimi, we are going to, let me show you guys this deck. It says Stay Magical as so cute. And then it says Badass Bitches Tarot. Okay, and these are all celebrities. Okay, Mimi is going to shuffle the deck, y'all. And she's going to choose a card to see what the guides are revealing for her this week.
Y'all, you did do your southern accent.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's coming out.
Woohoo. Hell yeah, girl. Roll Tide.
Sonic Waffle House.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I love Waffle House. All right.
You got Britney Spears.
Oh, baby, baby.
Okay, and what is she? The moon. Okay.
Cute.
The moon is a major arcana card. Every story has two sides, and everyone has a higher and lower self, i.e., sexy slave for you, Britney, and 2007 shaved head Brit.
Oh, yeah.
Trust your intuition to gauge which side is authentic when a confusing situation may occur. See, the upright is seeking clarity in confusion, and the reversal is impatience. Brittany, what's going on, Brittany? Come do the pod. Come do both of our pods.
Yeah.
We both dance. We both have blonde hair. Come be our sister. Okay, let's see. The devil card. Ooh. Now, I just saw Cardi B talking about the devil card. It's not bad, okay? And it's Whitney Houston, so... Despite her undeniable talent and beauty, Whitney battled with her own inner demons and vices until the end of this lifetime. The devil card provides insight into ways we may be sabotaging ourselves. Addiction, struggling with darkness, and reversal is emancipation. Absolutely. You know what, ladies? I am struggling with believing that I can be a millionaire. Okay. So the goal is to believe that we can achieve, we can have whatever we want because we are women and it is the age of Aquarius and women are just, it's written in the stars, we're taking over.
We're taking over, baby.
That's right. Okay, you guys, this has been an amazing episode. We love you so much. Do something today that makes you happy. Give yourself a hug. Would you like to say anything to the people?
Practice self-love, work hard, and you'll get everything you want, including those millions, Rochelle.
Hell yes.
Me too.
Yes. All right, you guys, we love you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.